Even begin to explain. And the webcam keeps on failing, so let's see if you can even see this. Pink room. And yes, it is new top value bar reel. Hi there everyone, welcome back to Japan. Well, yeah, we haven't been having the most luck with the internet connection in here. So if it goes a little bit bad, I'll try and lower the stream rate. I'm already streaming at a very low bit rate anyway, but hopefully you guys can see me. And let's just see. I'm getting some weird stuff coming up on the display already. I think it's all right though. I think it's okay right now. Thanks for the likes, guys. 3 likes already. You know that we are big time streaming pros with our 3 likes. Gracias. So how is everyone? I can see this chat's already started before I even got in here, which is always encouraging. Imi's voice is much better in her solo songs than Poppin' Party songs. Yeah, so Imi from Poppin' Party, I've got to admit, I've nothing against her, just her voice never massively stood out. Wow, that's really special or unique. It's just kind of like she's a good singer. I am still thinking sometime in the future I've got to do like a Bang Dream weekend where we just dive into Bang Dream groups. But as you can probably tell, we struggled a little bit to get some videos out this week. It was a bit of a chaotic week, but I'm glad at least 2 went out, even if one of them you guys had already seen on the Discord pre-release. So CMC says, oh, hello, Harry. CMC says, hard to judge when you don't really know what she could do with better material in Poppin' Party and solo. Yeah, I don't know. I think she's just really wowed me yet. So maybe she's got something in the tank that we haven't heard. But nothing against her. Yeah. Martin says, hi, still at sunny Uplands, HQ Po. I'll join you when I get home to say something funny to sunny Uplands is. Oh, wow, yeah, the connection's dropping out again. Yeah, the connection's dropped out. Oh, God, the internet in here is shite. So what did that look like for you? Because I just got a big red thing come up on OBS and it said 0 kilobytes per second. And suddenly it said like 2,000. So clearly it was trying to catch up. Did you guys get a delay and then it carried on? Or did you just lose a bunch of the stream there? Did I just go silent for a while? Really good if anyone can tell me how that's going. Almost premium beer makes an appearance. Thank you for complimenting the premium beer. Funko, hey man, how you doing? How's you, dude? I guess I'm alive. This room is pink. Hope you're alright, man. Looks kind of orange, the kind of walls that would make people irritable. Hopefully it is more pink than it looks. Yeah, it's really pink. I mean, I'm a little bit colorblind, but that's really pink. It's like super pink. Good that Imi is less squeak in, up to you, says Sven. Haven't wrote a comment yet to the AKG video, Asian Kung Fu generation. You missed the F, my friend. Yeah, I mean, again, she was perfectly serviceable and up to you, but it just sort of like, you know, it wasn't like one of those appearances where you were like, wow, she really brings something different. She was just kind of like a complimentary presence, I felt. CMC is doing that why you hate meme that I just don't get. that one is for you guys. You guys get that. I still don't. And our popping party, the replacement band, you are looking forward to the place to take the place of Queens of Squeak, Pop, Silent Siren. Seems to share some of the same characteristics. I've listened to a bit of Poppin' Party in a way, yeah. The problem is that I don't get the same level of depth from Poppin' Party. Poppin' Party kind of feel like their name is appropriate. They're fun, they're poppy, they're party. I don't get like that sense of, you know, I mean, I haven't heard all their songs yet, but from what I've heard, it kind of all feels fairly just, you know, nice surface value, manufactured pop. Don't quite get that same feeling of oh wow, this has actually got some real depth to it like you do from some of the Silent Siren stuff. Just my opinion. Again, it sounds like I'm being really mean to Poppin' Party. I actually kind of like a lot of what I've heard. It's just that nothing they haven't made me go wow yet. They've just made me go, this is a good band, it's a good pop rock band. That's kind of where I'm at with Poppin' Party at the moment, but I think maybe once I hear more I'll be able to judge that. You just went silent. Okay, that's great. So people are going to miss large swaths of what I'm saying. The internet in here is shit. Sorry, I can see it. It's just... well, so long as you're getting most of what I'm saying, I guess that, so long as this is watchable. Sven has retracted a message. Maybe he realised I was right about Agent Kung Fu Generation's name. Just saying. GMIV in the Tango Tribute Room. You haven't seen the other wall yet. It paused on my screen and then picked up where it left off. Oh, that's good. That's kind of what I would like it to do. So long as the stream's kind of recovering. As I say, it suddenly went up to like 2 megabytes after being on 0 for a couple of seconds. So I figure that because there's obviously the delay between what you see and what's going out of a few seconds, that hopefully that's just buffering and then it will catch you back up or something. Although it probably means by the end of this video, the actual conversation will be like 10 minutes out of time with what I'm saying. I might lower the, yeah, there you go, 0 again. 0 again, ridiculous. I am going to complain to the people, because I said to them specifically before I came here, is like, one of the reasons I'm coming here is to use the internet. Is it steady? It is not steady. That's fucking awful. So, sorry all the swearing today, it just frustrates me. I paid money for this, I'm going to ask for my money back, because this is not good enough. Paused my screen, then picked up. I had to refresh several times already. Currently getting some video stutter, but audio is playing fine. You can use AKG, because I say AKG, I think of something very different. Asian Kung Fu Generation and AG Can for Asian Kung Fu Generation as well. I still, you say AKG, I'm still thinking of something very different. Evening beer. Still, I'm going to accept that as a fan. You have the right to say that, but I'm just doing the layman's. Hey, I've got a couple of Asian Kung Fu Generation CDs. Listen to their singles kind of perspective, which doesn't exactly make me, you know, a fan club aficionado. But I'm just saying, if you say AKG, I think of something else. Let's go for the full initials. I don't know. Kung Fu is it 2 words, but it's hyphenated, so that's good enough for me. Evening beer. Oh, and Howard, says Sammy. Cheers, Sammy. Cheers. Cheers for recognising that I'm here in the background behind the real star of the show. No projector screen today, though, I'm afraid. So what you are saying is that Poppin' Party lack the artistic integrity and material they have been given so far compared to Queens of Pop, Silent Siren then. Oh, fuck off. It's on 0 again. And then it goes up to 2.5 megabytes. What a load of shit. I'm actually going to complain right now. I'm going to send them a message right now going, this is shit. I'll give them a link to the stream so they can watch it. I say, hey, yeah, I'm going to give them a link to the stream. Come watch the stream. We can't see shit. Oh, no, no, surprise. My phone says no internet. Fucking useless. Fucking useless. Sorry, I know I'm swearing a lot. I really hate when you pay for a service and it's not delivered. Yeah, AKG, very famous headphone maker. I was wondering who... The reason I didn't say that, I was wondering who would pick up on that. See if it was just me who was thinking that, but thank you, CMC. Okay, so it's not just me who thinks that when you see AKG. Now it sounds like I've been slagging on Popping for Party. Now it sounds like I'm slagging on Asian Kung Fu Generation. These are observations. None of them are insults. Oh my god. So what you're saying is that, oh yeah, about the artistic integrity. I was actually, when I said that, I was thinking in my head, it's kind of ironic that we're talking about two bands who effectively have their music written for them. I don't know, Poppin' Party might have some input in their songs. Obviously Silent Siren have a limited degree of input. I know they write a lot of their lyrics, which is great. I think maybe because of the lyrical input that Silent Siren certainly have these days. I'm not going to say until the end, because I still believe that they're going to come back strong. See that internet. Because of that, I don't know if it's that, but I really feel I don't feel that they're good enough actors to pretend that they're as into their songs. I really feel they're passionate about it in the same way that I feel, you know, you look at videos like Answer where you can see they really kind of, I don't feel like that's a manufactured okay, so you know how I said in the video about them having their hiatus, I said that they used the word family more than Vin Diesel. Family. That sounded a bit like EastEnders. Don't know how to do it in American. Family. That doesn't sound growly enough now. If someone can record themselves saying family in a Vin Diesel voice, that would be good. I can just put that on a little button that I can press whenever I want to talk about it. More kilobytes. You piece of... where was I going with this? Yes, so they've even called their current goodbye tours like the Familia tour. So come on now. 0 kilobytes. What a load of shit. I'm going messages got. So anyway, what I was saying is that I don't think that they are faking the fact that they have that family vibe. And I think that all is part of the fact that they really love, and the whole Silent Siren thing, it's not just a job that they're in this manufactured band. I think that they absolutely adore the band that they're in, which is why, like I said, I could feel that there was a difference with Hina. It's not that she didn't love the band, it's just that I felt like she didn't quite have that same thing where it was like, oh my god, this is everything to me, this is my family, this is my life. She felt a little bit like she was the outsider on that side, which is why I predicted her being the first to go before she did. But you know, when it comes to that, I feel that they really love and are, you know, really attached to what they do, and so, you know, writing their own lyrics as well. I do genuinely believe it's an honest thing. Yeah, degree of depth going on here. By the way, the other oh sorry, there's another CMC comment. Make sure when you send them the link to 5th anniversary concert has a better name than One More Time. Ao no naru yoru no tsukime de. I don't know if it's better. Well, actually, no, it's better. I don't know if it's necessarily a good name. It doesn't exactly grab you. Then again, maybe if I was more fluent in Japanese, maybe it would grab me. But still, no Hina, no Silent Siren, sad squeak pop. There can still be Silent Siren. Alright, so... hi, I just wanted to let you know the Wi-Fi is extremely unstable. During my streaming at only 500 kilobytes per second, it is dropping to 0 a couple of times a minute, and is hard to view. This is quite concerning. Have a link. Sorry to let you know. Send. It's 1 a.m. for them. Well, it's 1 a.m. for me too. Commitment. They make more money running this place than I do running a YouTube channel. But I'm committed to this. So they need to be as committed as I am. Sue writes the lyrics of nearly all their songs. Yeah, no, I've done a lot of looking at the credits in all of their CDs, which I now own. Oh, that's good. Oh, I needed that. No glasses in here, by the way. That's why I'm just drinking straight out of the can. Gone back to the way I always used to be. Long stream pause. Fuck. So what you were saying is the world famous Japanese mathematician and noodle peddler Yuka under jealousy forced Hina out then. No, I don't get that. No, I don't get that. Even as a joke, I don't fully get that. I got the formative part of the joke, but then the latter part of the joke I didn't quite get that. Not as crap. It's just on 0. It's fucking hell. Yeah, OBS. Man, OBS is like struggling to stay connected. Yeah, I'm going to send them a complaint and ask for my money back. It's not good enough. I saw that. It was on 0 for about 15 seconds there. Yeah, no, I'm going to take a picture of your comments as well, if you don't mind. Yeah. Yeah, it's just awful. Come on, I'm paying money for this. Not good enough. Yeah. So I apologise. I'm wondering if I can switch over to doing it through the little Wi-Fi box I have. That might be a remedy, but if I do that, is it just going to disconnect the whole stream? And we've only got 4 viewers now because people are just not sticking with it because it's messed up. Shit. Alright, I tell you what, I'm going to try and reroute this stream through the little box. If you get entirely if the stream stops, I apologise. I've never switched internets whilst streaming before, so this might just kill the stream outright. If so, then I'll just restart it. Oh, I've got to put this thing on charge. Oh, come on. What is going on today? Oh. Alright, where's the charger? And it's hot in... This is another thing I want to show you, right? I'm just going to complain now. Alright, it's really fucking hot in here. Alright, it's really hot in here. And this is my air conditioning remote. Where are the fucking buttons? No buttons. An air conditioning remote where they've literally removed the buttons. Yeah, I've started off, when I first came in here, I was like, oh, this room's really cool, it's nice, it's a bit funny, it's a bit interesting. Now I'm just like, no, fuck this room. Alright, wait a second, I've got to go over there, plug this in, see if we can switch Wi-Fi. Alright, Wi-Fi is plugged in. Alright, so here comes that magical moment. Oh, actually, wait, sorry, I just did a little squat over the chair. I need to check. Because it has limitations on how much it will send out per day. So I've just got to check what it's set to at the moment. Alright. Okay, guys. So, AC usually have a physical button on the overhead part, but usually I know. Like you're thinking, sir. Yeah, it's just the on-off button. Cock. Alright, guys. Hey, it's Mirai, the only person who was in my one-person, like, 2-hour stream the other day. Alright, guys, we are going to switch Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going to happen here, so if we get disconnected, we will be back. I'll just restart the stream. All right, here we go. Hold on. Okay. Oh, you've got to be shitting me, haven't you? Four, 11796 All right. Transmit, 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 transmit. Okay, we have a connection. We appear to have a stable connection. Let's just double check that. Sorry, it's like, once again, it's like watching Grandpa work out how to use the internet. Alright, let's check. Yeah, starting from 39 gigabytes. That seems to be working. What about you guys? I mean, it's showing a stable connection now. Oh yeah, I'm getting refunded. I am getting refunded, my people. I am getting refunded. Getting refunded. I tell you, I can see how far behind the stream is. Oh my god. You guys are a good like 30 seconds behind. Alright, so I'm going to read the comments. I'll catch up while you guys are catching up as well. Oh my god, there's been a lot of comments actually. See that the internet cafe owners felt about his text then. I think Hina is going to release her first single as member of Lynx Eyes, a group of the anime project DJD4. Oh, that's the one that she was doing the DJing for, yeah. I don't know what the deal was with that. I never even listened to that actually, but maybe I should now. So it might be interesting actually. I talked about it so much, but I never actually listened to it. Sammy, at least they didn't send bouncers to take care of the unthankful customer. Fuck that. I'll fucking keep coming here. Do you know what? Any other day, I'd be scared. But on a day when you take away my fucking internet while I'm streaming, just turn into like Hulk streamer. Streamer smash. The rage. Yeah, if anyone came up here to complain about me complaining, I'd fucking punch him in the face right now. So seriously, squeak, squeak, not good enough. Crap, internet, pop, pop, pop. Yeah, agreed. Opening up the stream on your phone and taking a screenshot of the comments might have been easier. Maybe. I always feel like if you show this in a screenshot, it could almost be edited. Whereas if you take a photograph of the screen, it's always like, yeah, that's probably... I mean, I know you could just as easily do that, but it looks less faked. Not yet. Howard speaks like, I imagine, an American. I don't know what that's in response to, but okay. YouTube not liking prominent placement of almost premium beer, perhaps. Perhaps. It does look a little bit like I'm working for them, doesn't it? Top value. Oh my god. Lol at remote. Thank you. Usually have a physical button on... Oh, I already read that. Oh, so okay. So I skipped over a lot of comments then. Then again, I can't find the button on my current AC. Nah, it's got on off. Nah, Howard isn't swearing enough to be American. Nice stroboscope effect. You're still here. More the beer and watch the stream. Take wings on... Move the beer and watch the stream. Take wing on flapping. There's a lot of things in there that I like. There's beer. There's flapping wings. There's streaming. Don't know what the sentence means. Sammy, oh well, I was really just going to drop in for a short bit. Need to take care of the family. Laters, and good luck with the stream. Thank you very much. We're down to 3 viewers now. Oh man, that's what happens when you start off a stream crappy. Also, maybe what happens when you stream on a Monday. Oh yeah, I haven't even talked about that yet. Ciao, ciao, Sammy. Indeed, Sven again retracting a message. God knows what awful things he's saying that he has to retract. New DC superhero grizzled musician man launching next year. Yeah. No one's watching that. So, all right. So why are we streaming on a Monday? Had a few little money problems. Trying to stay on top of things. And I decided that one of the best things to do, because obviously I can't stream from the place where I'm currently staying. So on Sundays I've been going into different places to, take advantage of. Obviously, you guys know, because I was using the internet cafe or the relaxation room before, but after the whole thing with me having some money in PayPal, I decided to use Airbnbs, which is why I had the projector room last time, and now I have this room. Fucking hot. Do something, you piece of shit. It's just sitting there, gaping open, not doing anything. Where was I? Yeah, sorry, it's boiling in here. The air conditioner, I'm really fed up with this. Fed up. It's going to be the angry stream. Angry stream in a pink room. It's pretty good, isn't it? It sets the context. You can't be angry without a pink background and a beery foreground. I wonder if the next live stream will be from the middle of a park, although much colder in the park. Do you know, I would love to do that, except for obviously until we're up to 1,000 subs, we can't stream remote. Can't stream from a mobile device. Now, we did, for instantly, you guys might have remembered, we did find out that from my little tablet thing, I can stream from that. And I know I'm just taking your joke and now taking it way too far. But we did find out I could stream from my tablet. And internet didn't realise that was a mobile device, so I could get away with that. However, major effort, yeah. There have been times when that would have been the best thing to have done, though. So anyway, this uses up the last of my PayPal money, so I probably won't be doing another Airbnb next week. However, I've got to be honest, probably shouldn't have done it this week. Yeah, I'm getting a stable thing from that little Wi-Fi box over there. I am totally going to tell them I want a... Seriously, I'm not joking. The buttons are removed. I will stop complaining and we can talk about something more relevant in a minute. So anyway, yeah, because rooms are much more expensive on a Sunday, I just couldn't afford to book it. I looked through so many places, and the thing is, I need to find somewhere where I can guarantee I'm not going to turn up and they're going to say, oh, just so you know, it's a cheap place, the wall's very thin, so no talking after midnight. It had to be a place where I could guarantee that was not going to be something I was going to be told. So I had to look for a place that met that criteria, was cheap enough that I could afford it with the dregs of my PayPal funds, and also had decent Wi-Fi. Here we are. Anyway, so on another note, yeah, like I say, didn't get too many videos out this week. Only 2 videos went out this week. There's 3 more that I currently have waiting to go. The idea, as you know, of me putting out so many videos recently, well, trying to, was to give me more time to finish those album reviews, because I had to, as you know, 2 of them I was redoing anyway, and I've added extra notes to them because it's been so long since I originally recorded them a couple of months ago. I've added a lot of extra thoughts and things to those 2 reviews. So, yeah, they've been, I think one of them's been recorded now a total of 3 times, but I've got to get it right. I don't like putting out crap, you know. I like to look at it. Basically, when I watched, I never used to do this, but now I watch the videos through because there's edits in them now. if something's got, when you do a reaction, if there's something in it that doesn't kind of work, you can kind of go, "What? It's a reaction." But when you're doing an actual review, you put the edits in. You have to put little edits in. I tried to put as few as possible, but you have to put little edits in here and there. And of course, the minute people see that you've edited it, then it has to be 100% good. Because if there's any crap in it, the question will be, well, why didn't you edit that out? And yeah, I know you're never going to please everyone, but I like to watch through them and just say, okay, am I happy that this is good? So if I watch it and afterwards I'm like, I don't feel like I conveyed the point or a point or any point, or that didn't flow well, then I just kind of go back to it and go, I've got to do it again. And I didn't realise how difficult album reviews were going to be in this format, considering that I haven't been able to, as you know, record indoors. Actually, I should have probably done some of that here and now. But let's have a look and see what everyone's saying. So you are going to be reviewing Nemo Generica's new single on the 17th. Guess I might as well. A lot of views. I'll be honest as always. I've got nothing against them as a band, as you guys know. It's just I really feel like I need to hear more from them. Yeah, no, I'll definitely be checking that out if they got a new single on the 17th. I am aware that the freebie magazines with the Silent Siren covers come out tomorrow, so I'll be trying to pick those up as well. So it's the day after tomorrow's Nemophila's new single, isn't it? I've seen random live streamers, Nico Nico, have a strap holding a laptop in front of them when they stream from the laptop. Yeah, I think there's a level of desperation that I'm not willing to go to. Just being honest with you there. No album review is credible unless listened to at least 7 times. You mean at least unless recorded at least 7 times. Also, a new Walking After You video on the 18th. Cool. That sounds fun. So we've got Nemophila and Walking After You over 2 consecutive days later this week. It's going to be a hard rocking week. So, have we literally only got 4 people in here at the moment? I mean, I know it's a Monday. We've got 9 likes, which is, at least that's good quality. Yeah, so according to the statistics, we went up to quite a few viewers and then have slowly dropped down. So clearly the quality of this content is not to the level that is expected from my extremely connoisseur-like followers. So, let's have a look here. Okay. So, yeah, when it comes to things I think a few people have started just maybe comically, but it's come up the issue of, oh, okay, what bands are going to do that Silent Siren-esque thing that Silent Siren seem not to want to do for the near future at least, after the Family Tour. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. It's the Family Tour. Can't do the American accent whilst growling. It's very hard. I never realised it would be difficult to do that. So yeah, I like I said, I was quite impressed by the new Elfriede, or whatever you're supposed to call them, single. I thought that was really well done. Again, I said in the review, I didn't think that they exactly went off in a direction that we've never heard before, but I did think that what they achieved was a song that was a very good bankable single. So if they can get a little string of good singles like that going, and then, you know, pop out an album that has a nice little bit of creative variation and some nice ideas on it, it could be something really good coming. But that's still a lot of things to ask on top of what they've offered already. But I like where they're going. If we use the Poppin' Party comparison, I would say, I'm just going to take off my socks, by the way. If we were to use the Poppin' Party comparison, I would say that the big issue there is, of course, that Poppin' Party, as I pointed out, are, as the name would suggest, very poppy. They're a poppy party type of band. I think Elfriede are nearer to the Silent Siren concept as I would know it, of having, there is a feeling, it does feel like there's a sort of a heart, a soul, a sort of message behind the fun, rather than just being a fun band. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what they managed to achieve. Let's have a look at some of the comments coming in. There is an English version of 1999 by on the 24th. Is 1999 a song by the... I don't know. I know 1997, I believe, is a song by another band. Howard, could you remember that you wanted to make a Bish video about their album? I'm assuming that's a joke, considering what I just said about making album reviews. So I'm assuming that's a joke. Fair play. Thank you for the torment. I thought Alfredo's song was a bridge too far. It just felt like there was one too many things in it. No, see, that's where I go in the opposite direction. I think that's what worked. Kind of what I said in the review as well. I think there's two... Yeah, again, I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting any of these bands, but there's a lot of these jangly sort of guitar bands. I mean, when we go back to stuff like when you had Chat Monchi and all of that, it was like, okay, you know, the idea of having real stripped back female bands was kind of, oh, this is cool. But now there's just too many of them. And they're all doing good things, but they all have become a bit of a sort of just this mass, you know, a lot of those sort of MOR jangly pop rock bands. Kind of like how after Bump of Chicken, you had like, you know, sort of Rad Wimps, but you had a lot of other bands doing that sort of MOR jangly thing. And interestingly missing the quality Bump of Chicken had, which was the ability to vary outside of that. But we have got a lot of those bands doing that kind of thing. And, you know, there was one that we covered and I can't remember their name. They were pretty good. It was one of the ones that CMC wanted me to cover, but I didn't cover for a long time. Not Brided, but another one. I can't even remember their name now, which is kind of disappointing. I should have remembered it. They had some good songs, but they were kind of jangly in the middle. You have like Lucy 2, great. I actually really like Lucy 2, but kind of, yeah, they mostly do that sort of jangly MOR thing. You know, I think the Regal Lily, as I said, I think they're very much doing it. There's a lot of these sort of, you know, minor distorted guitar, bass, drums, really simple, really strict back sort of bands. And I think there's too much. I think there's too many. And all credit for any bands who want to do it. And if they're all selling, then good for them. It's just when I want to listen to that type of music, there'll be like one or two songs by a few bands where I'll be like, yeah, okay, I can really get into that. You know, for me, it will probably be if I wanted something chilled, I'd probably go for Lucy 2. If I wanted something a little bit more upbeat, you know, there's a few more options, but then I'd probably go for something with more layers. So when I hear something like Elfrida using more and putting more into it, and like I said, the song went very smoothly. I didn't feel there was any hiccups. Yes, I can understand for some people it might be too many things going on, but to me that was just interesting. And that's a big point I tried to make in the review. I want to hear bands who can just add a little bit of character to their sound by doing things sonically different rather than just more bands strumming away. You know, it does remind me a little bit of the phase we had. I thought there was some very good music came out in the 90s, absolutely. But there was a lot of those bands, again, who copied the Oasis thing, and then you got more of the jangly, strummy bands. And they just, for me, they get very boring. So, yeah, I hate to say it, but any band who's willing to put something else into their sound, you know, if they have, like I said, that Elfrida song, it had the bit where in the bridge they went for a bit of a riff bass thing, they went for a little bit of a hard rock thing, but they didn't do it in a way that was, you know, trying to lampoon the style. They fitted in the context of their song. They stayed on safe footing, you know, making it work within the context of the song. But then they also had things like the piano. I felt, and that was nice. For me, you know, I want to hear something a little bit more sometimes. And for me as well, if we're talking about bands who are going to take on that sort of Silent Siren position, one of the reasons why, I mean, if Silent Siren didn't have, I mean, we could all say hashtag no bias, we would all say, I'm saying this because, you know, Yukaran, but even if it was someone else playing the keyboard, if the keyboard was taken out of Silent Siren, I think they would be a significantly less interesting band, because the keyboard allows them to do more things. It allows Sue to do things on the guitar that otherwise she wouldn't be able to do, because she doesn't have to colour the whole sound. You know, she can be either like just a sort of core underpinning, playing the chords, or she can step up and do something more interesting because she's got that backup. And obviously when you've got a good bass player as well, that helps. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the comments because a lot of stuff's coming in. So Sven agrees with CMC on that one. Massive female prog rock songs with no appeal to the mass. Not really sure what you mean by with no, but songs, but no one appeals to the mass. Well, I think they do. I mean, you look at certainly in the in like the charts in Japan for ages, that sort of jangly pop rock has always been a big thing. And again, I mean, you could trace that back to maybe even before, but I think Bumper Chicken is certainly a very big progenitor of that sound. Although they had a slightly more mixed approach, they had but since then there's always been loads of successfully charting jangly, strummy, slightly distorted, but not enough to be too aggressive, kind of pop rock kind of things. It's always been a big thing in Japan, and there's a lot of great songs in that style. But the thing is when you've got so many people doing it, it kind of lowers the value of each individual artist. Because there's so many people doing the same sound, or at least a very similar sound. So again, for me, anyone who's doing something on top of that or adding colour in any way, I appreciate that. 1999 is by Sheep Literature Educators. I wish someone would write that in hiragana, because I look at it and it just looks like a mess when I see it in English. And it could be argued is two better than 1997 by the Unstoppable Regal Lady. Indeed. Also, new Lucy 2 album due out soon. Nice. I need to keep an eye on all of these. I've listened to Bumper Chicken album. It was so boring. Really interested to hear you say that, because I would say Bumper... I don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say Bumper Chicken are going to set the world on fire. I just think they were quite good at, if you're going to be middle of the road, they were a very good way of doing it. I would say that they have a lot in common with Asian Kung Fu Generation, actually, so I'm really surprised to hear you say that. I would say that Bumper Chicken and Asian Kung Fu Generation have a lot in common. I don't know which album it was you heard, though. But anyway, like I said, I'm not exactly standing here, like, sort of saying Bumper Chicken or anything, like, wow, it's just like when they were kind of doing it before it became a bit of a trope, is kind of more my point on that. Harry says, that link was for people watching the stream back later. I'm fairly certain everyone here now is already on Discord. Add Fishbone, Cotton Candy, Split End. Yeah, Split End actually as well. There's quite a few like that. I mean, again, I'm not saying any of these bands are bad. I'm not saying any of them are bad. And they've pretty much every band we've named has got a song I like. Even Regal Lily's got one song that isn't too bad in my opinion. Yeah, it's pretty listenable. But yeah, I mean, the problem is not one of these artists, including Bumper Chicken, makes me kind of go, oh, I really want to listen to them. They're all kind of bands who I could just put on a playlist of similar sounding bands, because none of them really grab me. Kind of the same as with punk a lot of the time. Like, and you guys know I actually quite like quite a lot of punk, but there's not many punk bands where I go, I've just got to listen to that band. It'd be like, I'll just put on a playlist of loads of punk. Because it becomes just kind of like a mass, Bands need to sound like them rather than any band, says Rev. I agree wholeheartedly. And yes, it's difficult to do that. Not every band can cut out an exact sound. But you might remember I again said in the Silent Siren hiatus video that many bands, I think the phrasing I used is exist on a knife edge of qualities that make them special. Any band worth really treasuring does that. I pointed out with Silent Siren, it was the mixture of, as I've said so many times, mixing innocence with heartfeltness, mixing poppy with real musicianship. I said with Scandal, it's the ability to be sort of a little bit edgy, a little bit unexpected, but at the same time very easy to get into. You look at bands like Necroitalkia. I don't think Necroitalkia are necessarily easy to get into, but it's the fact that they're always managing to balance doing stuff that is crazy, whilst also doing stuff that somehow manages to actually be, you know, poppy. And then you have a lot of heavy bands who have things like this. You could say that this is all semantics, but I think any band that's really worth having around has a lot of things that they balance in their songs, even when they go for very different sounds. They still manage to have certain core qualities that make them identifiable. And this is something I've been really trying to sort of work out in my head, but it is definitely something that I recognise, that I do recognise in, you know, certain bands. But there's a lot of these MOR bands who just don't have that. They have good songs, but they don't have any qualities where you go, okay, you've just kind of found a balance. It's like, well, you've found a sound that a lot of other people are doing. You're doing it good. Which is a slightly different thing. So Simpsy says, I think Loose 2 do stand out as they tend to get in, throw their punches, and then get out usually in under 3 minutes, some under 2, and don't outstay their welcome. That is true. CMC do, I do agree with you. The Lucy 2 have this sort of concise nature to what they do. Yabai T-shirts are another example who I'm starting to really like, that they found this really interesting balance to their sound as well. I guess you could say the more out there you are, the easier it is to have to have something unique, but still. Harry says, I'm assuming you will get a new Scandal album in February. They've referred release month last few years, considering they've been in the studio a lot lately. Seems that way. Seems like they're concentrating on making sure we know they're there. So Fikri says, what do you think about the future of Silent Siren? They already have been hiatus, right? They haven't started the hiatus yet, but they've announced it, and they're basically finishing their tour before they kick that off. I did do a whole video about the future of Silent Siren, in my opinion. I would recommend you go and watch that, because I think I did a good job on that video personally. But I maybe talk more about why we needed them back rather than what I think will happen. If I'm honest with you, I have concerns. I think that they've deliberately left the door open because they're not sure that they want to quit it. But there is this feeling I have. I think it's going to depend on what they do with their time. They all have projects they're interested in doing individually. That seems to be rather clear. However, the thing is that, again, the point I keep on bringing up, and it comes back, is they've got this big thing about family. Family, 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 family. More than Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel would be jealous of how much they talk about family. And so the question is obviously at the moment they're feeling like the family is broken. They're not getting that same feeling, which is why I think very shortly after the Hina thing they announced this, because you could tell they were probably thinking about, although I think they should continue without a drummer for a little while, and I mentioned this again in the Hina video, but you can tell that they were probably thinking, oh, we have to find a new drummer, and probably that very thought is what caused them to stop. Because it was like, well, we don't want to, that's not what we are this family unit. I suspect it was even thinking about that question is probably what pushed them to go, okay, well, let's just take a hiatus and think about what we want. So I guess it depends. I mean, if during this hiatus time they continue to regularly see each other, I mean, maybe they'll spend some time doing their own thing, but if then they come back and they're spending every day hanging out and they're like, well, look, we're still this family unit, and, you know, Ayan, Sue and Yukaran are all just going, having their Starbucks coffee as they seem to like, then I think they won't be able to stop themselves from coming back, because it will just be like, you know, that's what happens when you have a certain group of people. You see this when you have a certain group of creative people who used to working together. They cannot stop doing that if they are together. You know, just being in proximity, they'll do it. However, if they go off in their separate directions and find that, you know, they find new things, and I kind of touched on this more in the Baby Metal video where I felt it was more relevant, Baby Metal hiatus video, but if they find themselves doing new things, find themselves attached to new projects that maybe fill the gap that Silent Siren left behind, then they might go the other way and say, well, look, that was good, but it's done. And that might reinforce the feeling that without Hina, it's not worth doing. So I think it really does entirely depend on how much time they spend together after the hiatus is complete. So I would be watching their social media very closely. And if you see them regularly hanging out, we'll get them back. The problem, do you know the thing that really worries me though? The tour they're doing right now really reeks of a goodbye tour. Really. This is not the sort of tour where you do it and then come back 6 months later. This is the sort of tour where you do it because you don't intend to be around for a while. It could be the company cashing in, I know, but still. Let's have a little look and see. Sorry, whenever Siren comes up, I've got way too many opinions, so I talk too much. Pop rock is the thing, but I talked about that no female pop rock bands appeal to the mass, not even near. No, the hiatus starts after their last. Okay. But I talked about that no female pop rock bands appeal to the mass, not even near. I mean, I get what you're saying. Depends on what you mean by the mass. I mean, if you mean like household name, I don't think many bands are household names anymore, unfortunately. But I get that. I get that. But I would say they certainly appeal to masses. I guess it depends on the phraseology. But yeah, I mean, assuming you must mean what you must mean, then yes, I see your point. So CMC says, I think the extra guitar in split end does allow them to be different in terms of what they can do. The other mostly three-piece outfits. That is true. Then again, as I've said before, sometimes having two guitarists can actually be limiting. When you've got one guitarist, you can go for stripped back stuff where you can really sort of, take the, really lighten up the songs. When you've got two guitarists, it's very hard to go too light because there's always guitar. It's very hard to have anything less than two guitars happening at any one time. And it's certainly hard to have no guitars happening at any one time. So it can work both ways, but I do agree that is certainly a facet. If one of your guitarists is trying to be Tom Morello, then maybe you can do even more because that doesn't sound like a guitar anymore. I wish there were more bands who had like a Tom Morello style guitarist, whatever you think of Tom Morello, just because it's like, well, that's different. And of course, the slightly weird, quirky world of the Wisely Brothers. That's the one I was thinking about. That's the one you mentioned who I was thinking about, Wisely Brothers. Wisely Brothers are another one of those jangle bands who I like them, but I really struggle to... I wouldn't sit down and say, I just have to listen to the Wisely Brothers now, because if I was listening to the Wisely Brothers, I would be putting on Lucy 2 as well. It would just be part of a playlist of that kind of stuff. What was the other one? Oh, there's another one who had like a really slow ballad that we covered once. Oh man, see this is actually I didn't even I'm not faking this. I'm just realizing now I can't remember the names of half of these bands because the fact that they're good, but they don't stand out individually. There is another one. Oh god, I think they've got a song called Rose. Oh, it's like a really simple name. The band's got a really simple name. I think. Oh, I can remember the video as well. Oh, I don't know what they're called. Someone's going to say it and I'll remember it. Jesus Christ. Martin. And I'm back in the room. Actually, that's not the way you wrote it. The way you wrote it was, and I'm back in the room. Very nice. Nice long pause. Sven says, Netcry Talkie is easy to get into if you don't have a problem with high voices. Baseball Bear is a really good example of a good band with pop rock elements. Actually, I haven't listened to much Baseball Bear, but I do agree. From what I've heard, they've got a really interesting take on writing. Their writing style is kind of a little bit different, and it does actually bring up some interesting ideas. So yeah, actually, I think that's a good one. Baseball Bear are a good example. I can't remember if Baseball Bear have a non-standard member, like someone who's not guitar, bass, drums. I don't think they do, but remind me if I'm wrong. It's been a little while since I last listened to them, but yeah, definitely. As for Necro Talking, I think they're easy to get into if you can accept really intense joy. It's the sort of thing where I think some people will go, oh, okay. I can imagine some people, not just for the high-pitched voice, also just for the sort of aggressively quirky... that's the word, aggressively quirky words. They are aggressively quirky. That's a perfect description of Necry Talkie. Aggressively quirky. Is this stream sponsored by Almost Premium Beer Corp? Is the product placement in your face enough? Someone said that earlier. Look, that's just where the camera is. That's just where the beer is. If you want to go out and buy yourself some premium... it's not premium. Rich taste, bar real, top value, best price with a new flavour. The only beer-like alcoholic beverage worth buying. And also the cheapest. Then, that's your choice. As for me, I don't regret a thing. No, I'm not sponsored. They should sponsor me. Mossberger still haven't sponsored me. Not happy about that. And Nako, I mean, come on, Nako. I need to upload that as a video you guys haven't seen from my last December tour thing that I still haven't uploaded all the parts of that. So much stuff never appears on this channel, but it's all there. Just needs to be finished. Oh god. Wanted ex-amateur model drummer for Squeak Pop Queen Silent Siren. Apply to your local Einyan Jeep franchise. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Can you imagine joining Silent Siren if you're not a model? Sorry, wait. Silent Siren have their first ever non-model member? They should do that. They should do that. I'm part of the GMIV research on new revenue approaches. It's failing, dude. It's failing. Universal tries to get as much many as they can before the hiatus of size. Oh, much money, yeah. No, absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed. I'm not denying that, and that's kind of the thing that's making me feel a little bit like, okay, it's probably all right. But at the same time, it does. Again, it reinforces what you don't want the members to be thinking, which is they have this good tour and it all ends perfectly and it's wonderful and everyone says goodbye, goes their separate ways after a lovely final concert. We're fucked. Just saying. Extreme, the GMIV will very obviously be eating Family Mart Karage through the entire stream. Man, Nakao Karage, sponsor me. Sponsor me. I was actually thinking, I saw a couple of YouTube channels recently where a guy just literally stuck his PayPal link at the bottom of his videos. I was like, that's pretty good. I like that. I like that idea. I might do that. So he just said like something like buy me breakfast or something, and just like a link to his PayPal. I was like, I respect you. Martin, or if the sci-fi gig is too demanding, try your local 1950s style diner. AK for Misaki, creep shoes and hair gel are a must. Please bring single snare drum and a wire brush. Yeah, sounds kind of fun. Not in the Tom Morello level of weirdness, but Konami Tana stands out in what she does in comparison to most of the other shredders around, and of course Japan's happiest guitar destroyer, Tomozo. I don't know Tomozo. No, I'm not familiar with that name. Yeah, look, I like Konami partly because she's a she's a songwriter who actually, maybe she does sing, she writes the songs for the whole band, which is great, so clearly she's not just a shredder, partly because a lot of her solos she's had some which I haven't really got into, but most of her solos are really easy to follow, at the same time as being very skillful, which is the perfect blend. The problem is, I'm trying to remove all bias, because it's very easy for me to be biased and just say, yeah, Konami's brilliant. Because I like the songs she writes, I like the band she's in, and I like her solos, which could be backed up by the fact that, as I say, solos are as much made by what's going on underneath the solo as the solo itself. And, you know, she's got a band who gives her great support when she does them. So it's hard for me. I mean, does she stand out in a sort of a... I think she's a good example of a thing that is not... I don't think she's like doing anything new in her guitar playing. There's nothing there I'm going, okay, you're adding something to the genre. In her writing, yes. In her guitar playing, no. I just think she's a very good guitarist. Yeah, she's a good songsmith and a good guitarist. I more value her for her writing. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, aren't I? Sven, if someone would ask if I can name a Japanese band that is similar to Asian Kung Fu Generation, I would recommend Baseball Bear. Sounds fair. As I kind of mentioned in my video the other day, I think Asian Kung Fu Generation have an unfortunate habit of flirting with middle of the road, that MOR jangly sound. And it doesn't always serve them well. They're at their best when they're doing things that are interesting and unexpected. Yeah, when they're experimenting, for better or for worse. When they kind of do those jangly singles, a lot of the time there's, like I say, it's like, oh, you're good. But if you weren't already Asian Kung Fu Generation, this would just be going into that massive swirling MOR. So the fact that it's not is only because you're Asian Kung Fu Generation. So yeah, I like them to stand out more. And the songs where they do that are the ones which really work, which probably is where I get the Baseball Bear reference a little bit. But yeah, no, that's a hard one because Asian Kung Fu Generation, like I said, for me they have two really different sides. They have a side that I really like and a side where I just kind of go. At their best, they're like, cool. Yeah, it's like, oh, I've got to hear this. I've got to play that again. I'll put that on repeat. Let's listen to that a few times over. At their worst, they're like, oh, I've forgotten what I just heard. You know, just go, slips by. At least they're never bad in like an annoying way. Yes, we'll get a GMIV review of Misaki and the Biscats at some... Oh, that's what we were talking about with the 50s and the... Okay. Universal sells the fan club edition of 31313 for 31313 yen plus taxes. Oh, okay, I like that. But, well... Mirai was the only person on my stream, my Discord stream, where I went to Book Off and I was going through CD shopping and showing, you know, asking for requests to go through the CD shop. That was a really fun stream. I know you guys were busy, but I wish more of you had seen that because we did some really fun stuff on that stream, including complaining about a guy who was using the elevator incorrectly. That was fun. But yeah, while we did that, we found the special edition free disc version of 31313, the actual album, or Sai San, sorry. Yeah, no, that was really cool as well. It was not too expensive as well. So I was thinking if I get some extra money one day, I'll go back and buy that. It'll be gone by then. Konami's solo playing are for the song, not for to look impressive. Yeah, I mean that's the funny thing, Rev. That's why I think I like her because, like I say, I like her for that. Stylistically, she's not really, she's just playing a guitar solo or playing guitar. Yeah, obviously she has a bit of a signature sound, but, you know, for me more it's, like I said, it's the structure, it's the way she structures things, it's the way she writes her solos, more than the actual sound of the solo, if you know what I mean. Tomomi Ogawa is a standout dancer that is better than average bass player. Dolphin. I feel like I should know who that is. I'm going to kick myself when I find out. Dolphin is infected with happy feet. When you say infected, that makes it sound horrifying. Oh my god. Okay. Now I can see your points of CMC on Konami. Not a revolution guitarist in what she does, but there is an evolution in what she adds and the slightly discordant off-killer trip she seems to be on. Yeah, I like that. For me, it's a bit of a shame because I loved when Screaming first added that sort of insane frantic thing that she was doing, because it was frantic without being just pure twiddle. There was a real sense there. Where I feel she's kind of maybe overdone that. She's overplayed that trick now, as I mentioned. I mean, we had quite a lot of that on the most recent single alone. So I hope she's not going to overdo that. But she does add things. I mean, this is what I like. She does sound like she's really doing something which is more about the song than just being looked at, again, as was mentioned. So yeah, no, I agree on that. Sven, Howard, I don't understand what sound you're criticising Asian Kung Fu Generation. Have you a song example? I wish I could remember. There are a few, but there's you're probably aware of this. I mean, even without me telling you, I can go check this afterwards. But you're probably aware there are a few Asian Kung Fu Generation songs where there is little more than just strum, 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 sing, and like really basic, you know, bit of bass and drums underneath. And those ones to me, they always just kind of, they're nice, but by the time they're finished, I don't remember them. They're done. And then you have stuff like the most recent one that you sent me, with Empathy and Flowers. Where I was like, okay, these songs really grab me. There's stuff going on here. There's layers. There's intrigue. So, yeah, I mean, I will have a look. There's one song in particular which keeps on coming back into my mind. Actually, it's more the video. I cannot remember the song Saved My Life. All I can remember is that when I listened to it, I was like, it's nice. It's just not much happening. So finished, it's like gone from brain. I always find that amazing when obviously they're doing that style intentionally. It's something we want to do. I've just never understood why a band who can be so interesting would ever want to invest in doing a song that was kind of forgettable, almost by genre definition. But obviously it's a genre. There's going to be people that like it. There's obviously a reason why they're doing that. So it's just my subjective opinion on that, although objectively those sorts of songs are, as I say, the simple strummy ones where there's not much else to write home about. Sorry, I don't feel like I really explained that very well, but hopefully you gathered from that at least a little bit. Was it a child who had elevator problems, said Mirai? No, well, the kid followed us into the elevator. I remember when we were on there, and I pointed the camera out the window because I didn't obviously want to point a camera at kids. It was when I was waiting for the elevator. Remember, we were going up to the roof. I was waiting for the elevator, and there was that guy who pressed up and then got in the down elevator just because he didn't want to wait. It's like, just wait for the up elevator. What's wrong with you? The one you're on could be going down. How do you know with the free elevators that's going to be the one that comes back up first? Just CMC. Was fun watching the Dolphins and Einyan play together in the Fender MV. That sounds nice. Right, the audio wasn't super clear at the time during the Discord stream. At times. Oh well. Oh well. Tomomi Ogawa. Oh, okay, Tomomi. Okay. Because it was shortened to Tomo, I was like, what? Oh no, that's a different. Are we talking about different? Oh man, I'm really bad at names. See, I'm just used to thinking of Tomomi as Tomomi. So if you call it Tomo, or if you even mention Ogawa, it's probably just thrown my. Wow, my brain is not good. CMC, Tomomi. Okay, the Dolphin bass player from former Hard Edge Osaka Rockers scandal. Did you? I'm still going to scroll up. If you actually said Tomomi, then you did. Yeah, my brain isn't good. I think it's because prior to that, another name had been mentioned, which was like Tomozo. And so I think I was conflating that in my brain. Sorry, that should have been really obvious. Bar real. Good for the memory. Tomozo is, to clarify, is the absurdly happy guitarist from Mad as a Box of Acid, Crazy Badgers, Nutters, Gacrick Spin. Okay, I kind of got a feeling that was what it was going to be just from the way you were talking about her, but okay. Cool. Reddit link. Thank you. My favourite Asian Comfy Generation song is just a strum sing with only a little added. Technical is not required for enjoyment for everything. For everything for everyone. I mean, okay, for everyone. Okay, no, I want to be really clear on this. I don't think the songs have to be technically good to be interesting. The problem is that when you have strum songs, you are in a mass of strum songs. It's a genre, it's a style of sound that offers less potential alternatives, and yet there's more people doing it, which means that almost every permutation has been somehow done. So to stand out is virtually impossible, unless you're standing out on the basis of just people like you as a band and you're where they get their strum from. These songs are often very good. I mean, they're kind of simple to make, so it's easier for them to be good. It's probably why a lot of artists do it. Again, I don't want to say these songs are bad. I can't think of many which are memorable. So, Yeah, I can't argue with that. And I'm not really arguing with that. I'm just kind of more saying that um, if there is a song in that particular sound that you find memorable, then it must really, really, really click for you. Or, it must really click for a lot of people maybe, but it must really be a good example of a song that clicks for you in some sort of melodic or harmonic or structural way. Um, because there's a hell of a lot of other permutations of that sound that you can listen to. Um, so, sorry, just again, kind of flogging a dead horse with that one. Sven, yeah, of course there are songs that are really easy to play, but that doesn't mean they are bad or forget. Yeah, I don't know whether. I don't want to sound like I'm accused. I don't know if you're on the defensive because it's Asian Kung Fu generation or, but I don't feel this is a complicated point. I don't see why people aren't getting it. I'm not, as I've said now so many times, it's becoming almost repetitive. I'm not saying there's anything bad about them. As I say, I've got whole playlists of these types of songs that I like listening to. And I'm not saying they're necessarily forgettable for everyone, because it could be that one clicks on you. I'm just saying as a general, it's a style, a sound of which there are a lot of songs. A lot of them are very similar, and therefore a lot of them are forgettable, which means that not from being bad, just because of the fact that there are so many similar alternatives. Therefore, if you don't find it forgettable, then it just be obviously that's a song that clicks for you. I'm just saying that as a general, if someone said, okay, if someone was listening to like a Netcry talkie song and they said, oh, that one was kind of forgettable, I'd be like, oh wow, okay, that's kind of interesting. Why was it forgettable? Like, they must have like in some way not really tapped into the sound that we're so used to hearing from them. If someone said it's not good, I'd be like, okay, fair enough, you just don't like it. But I'd be very surprised if someone said that it had a forgettable song. If you had Yeah by T-Shirts Yes and, if someone said, oh, Yeah by T-Shirts Yes and did a song and it's forgettable, I'd be like, really? That's kind of surprising. I wouldn't expect that from them. If you said, do you thought one of their songs was bad? Again, I'd be like, okay, fair enough, that's fine. If you were listening to I'm gonna name like Lucy 2, because Lucy 2, as I said, are a band who I like. Just so you guys don't think I'm being biased or anything here. If someone said, "Oh, there's a Lucy 2 song I heard and I thought it was forgettable," then I'd be like, "Okay, I can believe you on that." Because as much as I like them, maybe clicking into a set, just maybe the scales they write in, certain bands they certainly go back to certain scales. I would sort of say, okay, I can see though how their sound doesn't have anything that is entirely unique. There's nothing about the Lucy 2 sound where you could say, oh, I couldn't get that somewhere else. I just like the way they write their songs. And that's what I mean, is if you're doing songs where you can go, okay, well, look, you've written that nicely, but that's a song that, I can get the similar thing from other people. That's when you create what I would consider to be a forgettable, the potential for a forgettable song. I hope that makes it clear. I'm not saying these songs are bad. I really don't know. Apologies if I keep on saying that, but people are not picking up on it. Fernando, greetings from Montreal. Just in time to say goodbye. Thank you. Good to see you anyway. Just in time to hear me complaining. Tomomi's nicknames are Tomo and Timo. Adding extra names makes me more confused. But thank you. Again, this is going to be one where I'm going completely like Asian Kung Fu Generation. Now I realize that Asian Kung Fu Generation have 4 different names, and one of them is a headphone manufacturer. It makes it very hard for me to remember. CFC. Well, I suppose for simple songs, Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, Smells Like Teen Spirit. That's Not My Name by Ting Tings, but a billion others are utterly forgettable. Yeah, I mean, this is something that I've come back to a few times over. With the simple songs, and maybe this is a point that I've made in a kind of roundabout way before. I've sort of mentioned things like Smells Like Teen Spirit. I often reference Song 2 as well. That's Not My Name by Ting Tings. I wouldn't necessarily include that because that has a lot of little weird tricks and things in it where it's actually kind of clever, that song. I know some people find it rather brash, abrasive, they don't particularly like it. There's a lot of clever things going on in that song that I think people don't notice. So I wouldn't necessarily include that. But White Stripes, Seven Nation Army is another very good example. And of course, smoke on the water. There are some ones, whether it be cultural or what, that just they hit a certain riff that people remember. Yeah, so you can write a riff that people remember in the same way that you can write a lyric that people remember, just because it's a lyric where people just, you say one line and everyone always knows what line to say next, But again, and of all people, I'm going to say this, it's going to cause some shock, that's easier to do with riffs. Riffs, you have a lot of mechanics you can play with. So because you're basically creating a melody, a riff is basically a melody, but you can add extra things to it because it can be layered to have chords and things in it as well. A riff can be very memorable because a good riff will have like a range of different notes. It'll have some sort of shift in the rhythm, same as a good chorus melody. These are the same things that a chorus melody needs to be catchy. I mean, you look at that "Smells Like Teen Spirit." Dun, 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 dun. The rhythm, it's not just the little rhythm things in it. That's obviously a very simple chord pattern because it's just going one chord, one chord, one chord, one chord. Then you've got like song 2, where it's da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. There's it's changing how long each note, each chord lasts. Actually, he doesn't do that 4th note. He doesn't do it because it's on a fretless. He slides through it, so you're actually getting like a curved note there rather than an actual in between note. It's just when the bass comes in, he plays it anyway. But the point is that riffs can do that, but it's very hard to do that with a strum along. Now, again, strum alongs, you have the melody, and the melody works. But the problem is that then you are working with, like I say, those songs that you mentioned, they get away with it because they stick a riff front and center at the beginning. Those songs don't necessarily end up being that interesting after the riff has passed by. Good energy to them, but they're mainly trading off the fact that they come in so strong. Strum along songs, as a general, don't tend to be able to pull that trick because by the time you get to the interesting melody bit, it's the chorus, and by then you already know that you're listening to that sound you've heard a million times before. Again, I'm not saying it's bad. Just saying it's kind of easy to have a lot of alternatives. Mira, I think Howard might be repeating a lot because of the stream and chat lag. Maybe. Simple songs can be brilliant and actually very good too. I'm guessing you're just trying to either confirm the point or wind me up. I'm not sure which angle you're taking. It's a good thing about having hair, you get a good slap sound. Lyrics in simple songs can be harder to write too. Yeah, you can be. Yeah, or sometimes you can benefit from the simplicity, giving you more of a center stage to get your point across more concisely. I guess there's more pressure in them. But thanks for the likes, guys. So, anyway, we're about the time we have to wind this one up. I really desperately want to actually think that I got my point across here, but I feel like I haven't at all. Just slightly frustrating. I'll tell you what, there is one thing I want to briefly do. Can you guys hold on for just a moment? Just a moment. I wonder if I managed to pull that off. Wait a second. I have no way of checking this until we all check it together. Alright, let's do this. Yeah! Now it's yellow. I got a pink wall and I got a yellow wall. Good stuff. Just thought I'd show this before we finish things today. I don't think anyone's going to deny that this wall is yellow. All right. Let's have a look and see what everyone's saying. I suppose now more than ever, the first 15 seconds are more important to get and keep attention to people. Maybe. I think a lot of people actually hear songs for the first time not from the beginning. I think they hear them from clips. You know, I'm not going to sort of just use the TikTok thing as an excuse, but it is sort of things like that where people are more used to just hearing someone playing them a video where like a loop at the chorus will come in or something, or they'll hear it on like a pre-YouTube ad, which won't obviously start the song from the beginning. It'll start from exactly the point they want it to come in at. So actually a lot of the time I think people only hear the intros after they've already decided they like the song and they want to hear the whole thing all the way through. So maybe the opposite actually. I think the whole 15-second rule was probably more true back in the 90s when, you know, there were so many people competing to try and be the next big thing. But you'd have to send in like a demo tape or CD where they would actually listen from the beginning. That's an interesting one though. I guess there's a lot of streaming services, so on those, you know, if people are going through randomly, if they're listening to a recommended playlist, they'll be listening from the beginning, so that's true. I hope the vocal melodies in the chorus on the Scandal album are better. Yeah, like Eternal was pretty decent, but the funny thing is that the sound of the song stuck with me, but the chorus didn't. One More Time, the chorus absolutely stuck with me. That's a really catchy poppy chorus that worked brilliantly for me. But yeah, I don't think any of the other ones recently have. Sasha Heikiki was probably the last one that really stuck with me prior to One More Time. And the song titles too, Sven. Says Martin. Right, there's so much red coming from the pink wall. Not anymore. Oh, you mean reflecting onto me from the... I think that's just the colour of my face. This is one of those streams where I'm red. I'm not blue in this stream, I'm red in this stream. It means I'm getting money. The pink wall was like being inside a Picasso room. Oh my god, that's dark. Howard makes the song titles worse than they are. They were never really creative. They were just in Japanese. They were never... Again, I'm not really 100% sure. I get the first bit. That's probably true. They were never really creative. They were just in Japanese. I don't know if you're referring to the good ones, the bad ones, or what you mean, or you're separating what I said about the Japanese ones, about the English. I'm not really sure 100% what you're getting at there, but I mean, I might as well go through and clarify the point from my side and then see if you agree with that. Yeah, I do definitely favour the Japanese titled Scandal songs, which might, of course, be completely stupid. They might actually be even more stereotypical for all I know. Although I think I would probably know this, but you know, they could be even more stereotypical than the English ones, or could be just as bad. However, I think maybe because, you know, when you've got any song name in English, again, it's that thing, isn't it? There's more songs named in English, so if you name a song in English, especially if it's your second language and you don't know the intricacies of a language, you are likely to end up with a really cliche title, like One More Time, or Eternity, Eternal, whatever it was called. It's more likely to occur. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why if you don't have a really good idea for an English named song title, then give yourself a chance to think of a Japanese title instead, maybe. Oh man. And the songs that was no, we're with that. For simple titles, just look at the song names from Scandal. Scandal album is bland title. Scandal's new album, bland titles. Yeah, so no, like I said, I know I sound like I'm just sort of ragging on the Scandal song titles, but there have been some pretty, like, oh, that's the name of your single, moments from Scandal recently. So I want to go back to the days where you had, what was it, Scandal Baby on Best Scandal by Scandal. It's like, now you're just taking the piss. Decoder, yeah, always comes in at the end. I like that. Timely, fashionably late. CMC, Scandal's new album name. I like that. It's such a simple joke. It's actually really good. It's so simple that I actually like that. Oh man. So Decodex is doing alright. Heading to the doctor's actually. Oh damn, I hope. Well, you say you're doing alright, so hopefully it's nothing serious, man. Just look after yourself. Jesus. Well, it might be for someone else. Whoever you're going to the doctors for, whether it be you or someone else, I hope they're okay. That's the most important thing. I hope it's one of those doctor's visits where something gets solved and you end up leaving with everyone feeling better than when they walked in, rather than the other way around. So, all the best to you, man. Yeah. Hopefully this chat will give you, basically a verbal sedative before you arrive. Martin, red and yellow walls are subtle sideswipe at racial stereotypes. Whoa, where are we going with this? Naughty GMIV. Either that or they just had leftover paint after decorating the kindergarten. I think it's the latter, man. CMC, please do save GMIV the Howard from Picasso's room and keep it in almost premium beer. Press like to force GMIV's C section and just I wish I hadn't read that and then worked it. I was like, what section? Mirai, speaking of songs whose titles have been discussed a lot on Discord, one more time vocals sound a bit louder than the rest of the music. Is it always like that? It's like that when you know it's going to be a single. When everyone's sitting in the studio going, this is rather catchy. People are going to want to sing this. Just turn the vocals up a little bit. Thank you. You remember when you used to have like single versions and album versions, and the single version was almost always just where they turned up the vocal a little bit and then mastered it around that? Or sometimes they didn't change the mastering and you could really hear that when they threw it through the same mastering after turning up the vocals. That's always when you got a really weird balance. But no, usually they mastered it a second time. I hope it goes well. Isn't the name of the Blackpink album the album? That wouldn't surprise me. And do you know what? I guarantee... Look, I maybe I shouldn't be saying this because I don't know if that's actually true. But if that is true, then I guarantee they think it's edgy as fuck. They're like, I'm going to quit the album. The meaning only one. The album. It's like, Blackpink, you're not edgy. It's like all that attitude and just nothing to back it up. Sorry, they do seem like genuinely nice people from what I have seen of them in interviews. No, I don't want to sound like I'm staggering them off individually. I just think Blackpink is just like the most... it's just like... It's like eating a cracker. So you eat it and then you go, there's no flavour. Why did I do that? Why is anyone selling this? How did I pay money for this? Anyway. Also off if best Scandal album doll ring ring ring. Okay, look. So you're naming songs. Also off of best Scandal, as in the album Best Scandal. Doll. Yeah, it's kind of standard. Ring Ring Ring's an interesting one because actually I know at least two other Japanese artists who have a song called Ring Ring Ring. And Shoujo S. That's more interesting because it's like it's short, it's punchy, but it makes you think, what's that? Certainly one of the song names when you mentioned it immediately came back into mind. Mirai was a little off-putting to have the rest of music so much quieter than vocals. If there was a singer with a backing band, I thought they'd do something like that. I didn't think it was that far off balance, if I'm honest with you. I mean, the backing was quite light and airy by nature. Oh, wait. My picture's frozen. Yeah, finally the camera's fell. Let's switch over to the other camera. Bam! Oh, wow, look at the yellow. Look at, you can see the yellow now, can't you? Haha, it's the album. Other things exist from... Them are... Sorry. I got the gist of what you were saying before I read it, so I got to read that back again. Haha, it's the album. Other things exist from them are the show and the movie. I don't know if you're joking. I don't know if you're joking. That's what's really scary. Asian Kung Fu Generation, when they release their live DVD, let's make the lead guitar louder. Don't do that. Get the balance right. It's a song. If it was a Virtuosos and you wouldn't call it Asian Kung Fu Generation DVD, you would call it the name of the guitarist. Don't know. Can't remember his name. Finn, but outfoxed by Babe Metal, who nailed the one, Poe. At least with the one, there is a larger context to it. They're talking about their fandom, who they refer to as the one, which implies a togetherness. There's a lot of things implied there. Yeah, okay, it's not exactly genius level stuff, but it has a sort of a message to it. Whereas the album is a fucking noun. Just a noun. Nothing else. Nothing else. I mean, there's actually... I have openly laughed. If you go to the supermarket, sometimes... like, for example, there is a instant curry you can buy, which is called The Curry. And me and James have openly laughed at this before because it's objectively funny. It's like The Curry. And it's on a shelf with lots of other curries, thereby disproving its name and making it look like the dickish item in the supermarket. And then we have the album. Where was I? Yellow Canary Puke. I don't know why that's funny, but it is. Yellow wool with a touch of green like a giant supermarket banana. Cheers, Rev. That's beautifully said for some reason. I think the tints you get, yeah, I guess maybe there is a bit of a green tint. I don't know, my eyes aren't good enough. Well, of course, we had the band who played the singing singer, Bob Dylan, etc. Point well taken. Alright, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. This has actually been quite fun. Bit of a slow start, but we caught up with it eventually. I hope everyone now knows that I don't have a problem with simple music. Actually, I often very much support simple music as an interesting musical endeavour of its own right, just as big, complicated, layered songs are. Like I say, I think if you're going to go into that jangle area of jangly MOR, there's a reason they call it MOR. You're in the middle of the road. There's going to be a lot of people in there. So it's going to be much harder to stand out from song to song as well as from artist to artist. Is that the quintessential that all other of these things must bow towards and defer to? Are we talking like gangster? Or no, that would be da. I don't know why but yes, the quintessential, that toward it, yeah. Well, I mean, the idea that all must bow to and defer to it is, I guess you could say it's implied, but I think really, I mean, maybe this is because previously I'd worked as an English teacher, but I think the just means you're implying it's a singular, it's the only one, or the only relevant one. That's not much of a flex. You're not really flexing very hard there. You just sound illiterate. Howard dreaming of listening to Scandal's album Yellow. I'm on the album cover. Yeah. There's other album covers by them that I'd like to be on. Thanks for the Reddit link. Blackpink, the movie is a documentary about Blackpink. The show is the name of Blackpink online concert. Fucking hell. Yeah, doesn't surprise me. I guess if the movie was a real thing, it would just be a documentary. I can't exactly imagine them acting. Well, I can imagine them acting. I imagine that they probably have a management who think they could do that. They probably believe they could be astronauts. They will probably be sent to take the Korean lunar probe to the moon. Blackpink will land and probably have the landing. And then they'll do the science. Oh. Um, like Zakari. Oh, yeah. Okay. Again, if someone writes Japanese in English characters, it just doesn't hit with my head. When I see it in Japanese characters, it makes more sense. But I see it in like the English characters, and I just think to myself, eh? Um, ciao ciao for now. Stay safe. Don't listen to simple music. Make sure you only make complex song names. Momo kyun kyun pop. Obviously in Japanese for naming Japanese products. Yeah, well, they use the English words. That's all I'm saying, and they wrote it in English characters as well. Stay safe, folks. Until next time. Bye. Ciao. Okay, like Zalord from Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files series of books. Fair enough. There's some reading material for all of you to look up. The carpets in the bathroom were supported by luxuriant yellow walls. Oh, yellow walls. Oh, if you say that without context, supported by yellow walls, it's like, whoa, what the hell is this? Like yellow snowmen. Um, some K-pop stars get roles in K-drama. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. So Blackpink next album will be named Next Album. I think it'll be called The Other Album. Oh my god. Oh, I see it was worth mentioning Blackpink. Yeah, thank you, man. You've given me a right laugh, actually. Someone should mention Blackpink every. Someone should mention something that I have a major issue with every single live stream, just so I can get a little bit of. Yeah, at first I start off annoyed, and then I just end up enjoying it and having a laugh. So thank you for that. Or perhaps another album. I like the other album. I think. Alright, guys. Anyway, thank you for the 14 likes. Thank you for the views. I appreciate all of you as always. I'm going to call it quits on this one. So from the yellow room, yellow wall. Shouldn't touch it, should I? For now, my appreciation, grazie. Observe the toilet roll. And ciao ciao. Oh, and yeah, usual thing. Have a lovely morning, lunchtime, afternoon, evening, night, whatever it is for you. Take care. Oh, and I'll pop over on the Discord. See you there. Ciao, ciao.